Three Men Who Walked in Fire. Three Men Who Walked in Fire. Written by Joanne Scheck, illustrated by Sally Matthews. One day in old Jerusalem, three little boys ran fast. They hid and watched while soldiers armed with swords and spears marched past. Burn down the houses, steal the gold, they heard the soldiers shout. The boys crouched very quietly, not daring to look out. As soon as the soldier saw them there, he quickly called all three. You boys will make good slaves, he said. I'll take you home with me. Though they were slaves for many years, the boys did not despair. Dear God, we know you're by our side, they said each day in prayer. The oldest was the smartest one. They called him Wise Shadrach. The youngest was the strongest one. No one could beat Meshach. The third was liked the best of all. Abednego brought song and grin and laughing merriment, no matter where he went. One day, the king of this strange land was feeling very proud. He thought about how great it was until he said aloud, There's really nothing in the world I cannot do or say. Why, I could even make a god. I'll do it right away. Go out, the king called to his men, and gather the gold. The soldiers quickly hurried off to do as they were told. One morning, near the city walls, the people saw a sight so horrible to look upon, it made them shake with fright. An ugly statue made of gold stood high above the town. Its mouth was open wide, its evil eyes glared down. The messengers rode everywhere to read the king's new law. Hear ye, they cried aloud to everyone they saw. Whenever people in this land hear music being played, they must fall down and pray before the God our king has made, or else the king will have you thrown into a fiery pen. These words sent shivers up the spines of even bravest men. It wasn't long before the sound of music filled the air, and all the frightened people fell upon the ground in prayer. But suddenly the soldiers cried, Why can't we see Meshach? What happened to Abednego? And where is Wise Shadrach? No one could find them anywhere, for they had stayed away. They stayed at home and prayed to God, just as they did each day. When he found out, the king became as mad as he could be. How dare you disobey my law? He asked them angrily. Fall down upon your knees at once, or you will soon be dead. But Shadrach stepped up to the king and slowly shook his head. Oh, king, he said, your gold is not a god at all. It's just a hunk of ugly junk outside the city wall. Our God is very powerful, is wise and strong and true, and we will pray to him each day, no matter what you do. The king was furious at this. His face turned white, then red. I'll show you I'm stronger than your foolish God, he said. Pull down their coats, foolish Yuchun. Now tie them up and make the fire burn high. The red-hot fire grew hotter still. It reached far in the sky. Its flames were making walls and howls so horrible to hear. The soldiers holding Shadrach and his friends were filled with fear. Now throw them in, the king called out. And while they held their breath, the three brave men fell down, down to a fiery death. The flames rose higher now and killed the soldiers near the pit. The king and all the people moved far back, away from it. The fire began to fade away, and when the smoke had cleared, the king could not believe his eyes at what now had appeared. There, in the middle of the flames, 4 men instead of 3 were walking all around the fire, alive as they could be. The 4th man was an angel sent by God into the pit. He guarded so the man had not been burned one little bit. The king was so surprised that he could hardly move or speak. Instead of feeling proud right now, he felt a little weak. At last he called, Abednego, Shadrach, Meshach, come out. Why, not one ear is burnt, he said as they turned round about. You truly must be men of God, for he has set you free. From this day on, you'll be my friends and rule along with me. How wonderful your great God is. Today I do command that all my people honor him throughout my mighty land. The end.